Well, they good.
In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the clean words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Well, they good, sir.
How does everybody feel tonight?
Fine, sir.
All praises to Allah. Brothers and sisters, as the brother said, I work in the public schools in Chicago. And we call that the killing fields, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because what is taught in the public school system is actually killing the minds of black people. But the thing that can save black people from that and other things that are destructive is the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, which we came here tonight to share with you. I would like to begin by thanking, of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for teaching me and us what we're going to teach tonight. I would like to thank Minister Ishmael Muhammad for giving me the opportunity to come in the south suburbs and share with you what we've learned as a result of following the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I would also like to thank Minister Kareem Muhammad for having me back in the house to share with you all what we've learned as a result of following the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And as black people and as Muslims, we shouldn't have any problem saying that we follow the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
No, sir.
And the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
Because a mighty change is taking place in our lives for good because we follow those two great men of God. Is that right?
That's right.
So now, brothers and sisters, in lieu of Savior's Day 2006, which is fast approaching, tonight we're going to deal with a question that we all need to answer. And that question is, who is Master Fard Muhammad?
Good question.
We've heard about this man. If we've read any of the books of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we know that he continues to refer to this man, Master Fard Muhammad. And some people don't know how to talk about him or how to describe him to other people or may not even understand all about this man. Is that right?
That's right.
So now the first thing that we have to understand who Master Fard Muhammad is what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught about God being a man. Now I know what you're going to say. That's crazy as hell. How can God be a man?
Break it down.
Now, if we read the Bible, which we all should, right?
Yes, sir.
And every Muslim reads the Bible. We read the Bible as well as the Holy Quran. Is that right?
That's right.
We read them both. But the book that black people read is the Bible. So we have to teach out of both books. Now, the Bible says in the first chapter of Genesis that man was created in the image and the likeness of God.
Right.
Is that
That's
right? Now, if something is created in your image and after your likeness, then the thing that you create is going to look like what?
You.
It's going to look like who? You. Is that right?
That's right.
When you go to the mirror gives you an image of what?
Your likeness.
It gives you an image of yourself. The mirror doesn't give you an image of something else.
No, sir.
The mirror gives you an image of yourself. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, to prove to you that this is in the very nature of the human being, when it snows in Chicago,
Right.
what do people go outside and make?
Snowman.
They make something in the image of who? They make something in the image of themselves. Is that right?
Right.
Your children don't go out and make a snow dog,
No.
a snow cat,
No.
a snow house, right? They make a snowman.
That's right.
Because it's in the nature of the human to make something that looks like himself or herself. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, most of us right now do not concern ourselves with what's going on in the anthill. Dude, you weren't even thinking about ants until I brought it up. You don't care what's happening in the life of the grasshopper.
Right. No, sir.
You don't concern yourself even if you have roaches in your house.
Right.
You don't concern yourself with the lifestyle of the roaches.
No, sir.
Do you?
No.
See, but what does that say? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad says that the way we know God is a man is because he's concerned about the affairs of human beings.
Right. That's right.
If he was just a spirit, then why would he be concerned about the affairs of you and I?
Right.
We don't concern ourselves with the lifestyle of the lower animals, right?
No, sir.
Now, see, brothers and sisters, the Bible is the greatest bearer of witness that God is a man. Yes. That God is a human being like you and I.
Right.
How do we know? You heard of the book of Genesis, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the Bible says that Adam and Eve were placed in the garden, right?
That's right.
And that this serpent, and this is a symbolic story because we know serpents don't talk.
That's right. Come on.
We know this.
Come
you know,
on.
if you went to the zoo and a snake was talking, you would run up out of there. Is that right?
That's right.
So we already know that snakes don't talk. We know that that's symbolic language. But the serpent came to the woman, deceived her into eating the forbidden fruit, right?
That's right.
From the tree that had the knowledge of good and evil. Now, you know trees don't have the knowledge of good and evil. You know that, right? Because you've never talked to a tree. I know you saw the Lord of the Rings. And you saw the talking trees.
Come on.
But we know trees don't talk. So now, that's symbolic. We're not going into that tonight. But if you read the story in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, after the man and woman ate the forbidden fruit, then the Bible says in Genesis chapter 3, verse 8, and they heard the voice of God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Hold on, wait a minute. Now you know that the voice doesn't walk, right?
Come on.
But we know based on the language that Adam and Eve heard God walking in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
That's in the King James Version. Do I need to? Okay. I didn't know. Praise be to Allah. So now, that's what Genesis 3 and 8. But now there's multiple translations of the Bible.
Right.
In the Message translation, it says, when they heard the sound of God strolling in the garden, in the evening breeze.
Yes, sir.
Come on, how does God stroll in the garden unless he's a what?
Man.
Unless he's a man.
That's right.
Now, it says that Adam and Eve tried to hide from God.
Right.
Right?
Right.
When they heard him strolling in the garden. Right?
That's
Now,
right.
just imagine when you were growing up and you had Keisha at the house.
Right.
Doing something you had no business doing.
Okay.
And you thought your mother was at work.
Right.
But then you hear a key in the door.
Knock.
Right? What are you going to do?
You're gonna run and
You're
hide.
going to put Keisha in the closet, you know? You're going to try to straighten things up to make it seem like you weren't doing anything wrong.
Come on.
And it's no spirit coming in your house, is that right? It's your mama coming in because she heard you on the phone last night talking about how you was going to invite Keisha over to the house in the first place. Is that right? So now that's the Bible. Now, in the book of Genesis, we still in Genesis, Abraham meets God.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know that sounds crazy. See, the reason it sounds crazy is because as black people, we don't read the Bible.
Right.
We just accept what somebody says about the Bible, but we never go in the book and read it for ourselves.
That's
We
right.
just say, well, my mama said it, well, my preacher said it, well, T.D. Jakes said it,
Right.
well, I heard my cousin, uncle, auntie say it.
Right.
But we never read the book for ourselves.
Yes,
It says, and the Lord appeared unto him, talking about Abraham, in the plains of Mamre.
That's right.
Now, I'm not going to read that whole chapter 18
Yes, sir.
talks about God's meeting Abraham. Right? Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, let me see. Hold on.
Take your time, brother. Take your time.
Because I have the definition of the word appear.
Yes, sir.
And so we can be clear.
Right.
We don't want you all to think we're making something up as we go along. I mean, I left it. Oh, no. Hold on. I think I left it down. But we know if something appeared, then it came into reality. It came into view. Is that right?
That's right.
If someone says, well, there's going to be a special appearance of Kanye West, right? Then you expect who to be there?
Kanye
Kanye West. Is that right? I left the definition at home. Now, so God appears to Abraham in the plains of Mamre, and the Bible says that there were 3 men, and one of them was the Lord. And then God precedes Abraham, as any Muslim would do, the Bible says, fell on his face before God. And then God proceeds to tell Abraham that Sarah's going to have a child. And Sarah laughs at God.
Okay.
Because she's so old, she figures she can't have a child, right?
Right.
And then God says, I know she just didn't laugh. I know Sarah just, and I know you don't believe that, but read it for yourself. Now, so when God appeared to Abraham, he didn't appear to him as a spirit that he couldn't see.
Right.
He appeared to him as a human being. Now, then in the 17th chapter of Genesis, it says, when Abram was 99 years old, pardon me, the Lord appeared unto him. Meaning he came into Abraham's view. Right?
Right.
Y'all got that?
Yes,
the
sir.
book of Enoch, I mean not the book of Enoch, but the book of Genesis says that Enoch walked with God.
Yes, sir.
Now how could Enoch walk with God unless God was a human being?
Come on.
Meaning Enoch had something to walk with, right?
That's right.
And God had something to walk with too. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, in the Genesis, we dealing only with the Bible. In the book of Genesis chapter 32, verse 30, Jacob, I'll tell you the whole story before I read the quote. Jacob wrestles with God.
Yes, sir.
Now, Jacob in Hebrew is called, or Arabic is called Yaqub.
Yes, sir.
In English, you call him Jacob, right?
That's right. That's right.
So now, Jacob, in the Bible, in the 32nd chapter of Genesis, if you get the little Bibles with the little subtitles,
Right.
the subtitle says Jacob wrestles with God.
Right. Okay.
So Jacob goes to this place, and at night he meets this man. And so he starts to wrestle this man, this human being,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And he wrestles him all the way until the morning time. And so he's trying to get this man to bless him, but the man is trying to wrestle with Jacob. So at the end, it's daytime, and the man who's wrestling Jacob touches him on his thigh, and Jacob says, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. So then the man eventually lets him go. And then he tells him that he's God. And then Jacob goes, and this is what Jacob says. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. And then he says, for I have seen God face to face.
Come on.
And my life is spared. And Peniel means the face of God.
Yes, sir.
So this man, Jacob, saw God face to face. I know you don't believe that. Read it for yourself. Genesis 32, verse 30. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, also in Genesis, Abraham has a dream about his descendants, right?
Yes, sir.
And in Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 through 15, I should really save this. I'm going to save that one for later. I'll come back to that one.
All right.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
When we deal with Master Farad Muhammad. Now, let's go to the book of, where is it? The book of Exodus. Oh, here, no, is that it? Okay, in the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 7 and 8. This is Moses. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt. And I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, and I know their sorrows. Then it goes on to say, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians. Did y'all hear that?
Yes, sir.
Now, another place in the book of Exodus, Moses says that he spoke face to face with God, as a man speaketh to his friend.
That's right.
Which means Moses had a face, right?
That's right.
And God had a face.
That's right.
How did that happen? God must be a man. Now, you may say, well, brother, see, I read the Bible, and I know God is not a man because it says in the book of Numbers,
Right.
God is not a man.
Okay.
And it does say that. But see, you got to finish it. You just can't read that.
Right.
Because in the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19, it says God is not a man that he should lie.
That's right.
Did you hear what I said?
That's right.
So it's not saying that God is not a man. It's saying that God is not a man that would tell a lie. Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Come on, praise him, to a lie.
Come on with it.
Now, hold on, we're not done.
Cool the fire now.
Jesus says, because you'll say, wait a minute. Jesus says right there in John chapter 4, verse 24, that God is a spirit.
Right.
And those who worship him in spirit and in truth. And we're not going to disagree with you that God is a spirit.
Right.
But we want to ask the question, where does the Spirit of God reside?
Right.
See, if God is only a spirit, then that makes him inferior to us. Because we're flesh and spirit.
Right.
Right? We have both.
That's right.
If God is spirit only, then he's inferior to us.
That's right.
Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you can't make God less than what we are.
Yes, sir.
Where does the Spirit of God reside? Does it reside in the atmosphere? When you take a deep breath, are you breathing in the Spirit of God?
Come on. Come on.
Or does the Spirit of God reside in the greatest creation of God, which is the human being? What does the Bible say? The Bible says that he made the man and he breathed into the man of his own spirit. Is that right?
That's right. That's
Y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Don't get mad because we saying God is
That's
a man.
right. That's right.
Lay it out.
See, we're not saying something that is illogical. All we're saying is that the Spirit of God resides in a human body, which only makes sense. If you look at nature, nature is the same way. We have a law, right?
Yes, sir.
And the name of that law is gravity.
Yes, sir.
Well, you can't show me gravity, can you?
No, sir.
Point it out. We know it exists, right?
Come on.
But the only way that we can see gravity in action is if we have something physical that proves that gravity exists. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So if gravity is real, if I drop this book, then it'll come down.
Right.
If gravity is not real, when I let it go, it'll float in the air.
That's right.
Let's do it and see.
Okay.
Some of y'all think it's going to float. I know. See, the only way we can show that that's real is by using something physical. Because the spiritual and the physical go hand in hand. Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See, the only way that we know the law of lift is real is because when you design an airplane based on the law of lift, then it's able to come up in the air. Y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes,
when
sir.
you make a paper airplane and you throw it, then it's able to glide on the air based on what? The unseen law of lift. But the law of lift becomes seen, or the law of gravity becomes seen when you have something physical.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
God is the same way. How would you know God exists unless there was a sun, unless there were moon, unless there were stars, unless there was a universe and human beings? We wouldn't know that God existed.
That's right.
Unless he manifested his power through something physical.
That's
now,
right.
I remember when I was selling papers one day, an Orthodox Muslim rolled up and said, "Brother, do you believe God is a man?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Brother, God is like time. You can't see him, but you know he's there." And he rolled away before I could just break him all the way down.
Yes, sir.
Because God is like time. But the only way that you can tell that time has passed is if you have something physical to mark that time has passed. Is that right?
Right.
So if you have a bowl of bean soup and it starts to stink, nobody has to tell you that time has passed, right?
That's right.
You can't see the time that has passed, but based on the physical thing you're looking at, then you know what? You know the time has passed. Is that right?
Yes,
You look
sir.
at the pyramids in Egypt. They've been there for thousands of years. How do we know? Because we can look at them and tell what? That time has passed. Can we see time?
No.
We can't see time. Is that right?
That's right.
So, is everybody with me?
Yes, sir.
Bring the knowledge.
Now, let's see. Hold on.
Come on, scientists.
Oh, now, if you have a magnet, right? Some of you have magnets on your refrigerator, right?
Yes,
Now, if I
sir.
have a magnet, and I meant to bring one tonight, because you have to show everything to black people. But if I had a magnet, could you see magnetism?
No,
You
sir.
can't. If you have a magnet, you can't see the magnetism that's in the magnet, right?
Right.
So the only way you know that the magnet has magnetism is to get another thing that's physical, and then the power of what is unseen attracts the physical thing to it. Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But the magnetism you can't see.
Come on.
The only way you know that a magnet has the power to attract is if you put it next to a piece of metal.
That's
Are
right.
y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So God is the same way. You won't know that God exists unless you have something physical to prove the existence of God.
Right.
That's why the craziest thing you can say is there is no God.
That hurts.
It's crazy as hell. Because we live in a universe that did not get here by accident. Is that right?
That's right.
Come on. Bring the science.
And the white man, every day he's proven that God is real.
That's right.
Every day he's proven the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because this man has mapped the DNA. Right?
That's right.
The whole thing.
Yes, sir.
And now he's making designer plants. He's making plants that in the plant is the vaccination.
Right.
I know as a Negro, we don't think that's possible. You go to the doctor, you get a shot. Well, see, this man has made a banana, and in the banana is the flu vaccine.
Come on.
Now, how did he do that? He's proven that God exists
No joke.
by what he's doing. Are y'all
Go
following
ahead.
what I'm
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
He's a hell of a man.
Now, okay, let's move on. Now, so it's clear. Is something I'm missing on God being a man?
Yeah,
Take time.
doing a
brother.
good
Take
job.
time.
Okay, I want to. Oh, I got the Holy Quran. I'm so sorry. We can't leave the Holy Quran now.
Right,
No,
right,
sir.
Because the
right.
Holy Quran bears witness that God is a man. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Watch out,
In the
Orthodox.
book, in the Holy Quran, chapter 19, verse 17,
Yes, sir.
it's talking about Mary, right?
Come on.
And the book says, so she screened herself from them. Then we sent to her our spirit, meaning the Spirit of God. And it appeared to her as a well-made man.
That's
Because
right.
the only way she could see the Spirit is if it came how? If it came in the form of a well-made man.
That's
So
right.
you can't say with Bible, right, or Holy Quran that God is not a man. Because we refer to him as him.
Right.
Is that right?
That's right.
As he, right?
That's right.
This is his universe, right?
That's right.
And that's a pronoun,
Come on,
and a
man.
pronoun takes the place of
Go
a
ahead,
noun.
go ahead.
That's right.
And the word he, him, and his refer to a male. It could be a male human or it could be a male animal, right?
Right. That's right.
If you see a ghost, you don't say him.
Right.
Because ghosts have no sex. Is that
Right.
That's right.
It's just it if you saw a ghost.
That's right. Come on.
Look, man, I saw it, man. I ran into the house. I saw the thing. Man, it was crazy up in that house, right?
Yes, sir.
But we refer to God as he,
Yes, sir.
as him, right? And use the word his.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we use those pronouns in reference to a spirit? Y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
Come on with the English.
Now, see, the Christians say that God is a mystery.
Right.
Well, if God is a mystery, and the word mystery means something that's unknown,
Right.
then how can we say we know God
Right.
or can even get to know God if he's a mystery? Y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
Now, he does some mysterious things. We can't deny that. He does some mysterious things, but he is not a mystery. Y'all with me?
Yes,
Go
So
ahead.
now, we're clear on God being a man. So let's see. Who is this man that we call Master Farad Muhammad? Because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad says that he met God in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
I've heard
On
that.
the 4th page of Message to the Black Man, he says the most important question of all questions that one could ask is who is God? He didn't say the most important question of all is what is God, right?
Right.
He said the most important question is who is God, right?
Go ahead.
So now, we're taught that Master Farad Muhammad was born in the holy city of Mecca,
Right.
right?
That's right.
In 1877.
Okay.
And that this man studied 42 years just to deliver black people.
That's what we
Okay.
talk.
See, the thing that the Arabs don't understand about Master Farad Muhammad is the love that he has for us, his people.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Because, see, I'm a teacher. And see, if you love the student, then you'll develop a way to reach the mind of the student.
There it is.
So you have some teachers that don't want to develop a way that will reach the mind of the people they're teaching.
Go ahead.
See, they think, well, they should just get it. They need this, they should just get it. Right?
Right.
So they may be able to reach one or two of the best in the class,
That's
but
it.
the masses of people in the class don't care about what the teacher is teaching. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But now a good teacher is going to develop a strategy that's going to attract the minds of the people that is in front of him or her.
That's right.
Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So what Master Farad Muhammad did was he developed a new brand of Islam. The principles are the same, but everything is not the same as the old world of Islam. But he developed it in a way that would attract the minds of black people. See, if you go to the Orthodox Muslim mosque, you sit on the floor. Right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
And as black people, we're not used to sitting on the floor.
Yes, sir. Right.
And the whole service is in Arabic. And do we speak Arabic?
No.
We don't speak Arabic, so we're in there sitting on the floor, right?
Right.
Got men with dresses on,
Okay.
so we think, right?
Right.
And everybody's talking in a language that we don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So now how are we going to be attracted to a message like that?
You're not going to have it.
Right.
It's not possible, is that right?
Right.
So Master Farad Muhammad came with a message that was attractive to the minds of black people.
Okay.
Y'all with me?
Yes,
Yes,
He
sir.
studied the condition of black people. So now, what does the Bible say about the coming of Master Farad Muhammad? In the 15th chapter of Genesis, y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
It says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And they shall serve them and afflict them for 400 years. Black people are the only people that have been in bondage for 400 years.
That's right.
The Bible goes on to say, and also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge, and afterward they will come out with great substance. So the book of Genesis says that God is not going to send somebody to judge the nation, right?
That's
That
right.
he's going to come himself, right?
Himself.
That's right.
So now, hold on. Hold on.
Take your time.
In the book of Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter.
Right.
Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The book of Habakkuk, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says that God came from Teman.
That's right.
And the Holy One from Mount Paran.
That's right.
And his glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
That's right.
Now, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that 2 people are referred to here.
That's right.
He said that God came from Teman, and Teman is either a place in the Middle East, and it's also a person that's talked about in the Bible.
That's right.
Either way you look at it, God would have to be a human being.
That's right.
Because he came from, if we say God came from Mexico, right? And you understand that, right?
That's right.
Or we say God came from somebody named John, you understand that too, right?
Right,
So
right.
now, but he says that the Holy One from Mount Paran is a different person.
Oh, watch out.
And then he talks about how the world is in need of a Holy One. But he never really, in Message to the Black Man, he didn't really reveal who the Holy One was or is. But the Holy One is a reference to Master Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
Now, see this place called Paran. What is that?
Arabia.
See, there's a place in Arabia called Paran, but it's known by a different name today.
Watch out.
Today it's called Mecca.
Right.
At that time it was called Paran. How do you know? Because we just may be saying that.
That's right.
Right? If you read in the book of Genesis,
Okay.
when Abraham had Ishmael through Hagar, right?
That's right.
Sarah got upset. So Abraham, look, put her out. Abraham, who was a prophet of God, did what? Put her out. Is that right?
Right.
That's
Put
right.
out.
That's right.
So now in the Bible, it says that Hagar was in the desert with Ishmael, who was a baby. Right?
Right.
And she's looking for water in the desert. Right? This is the Bible we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And she has Ishmael laying down in the desert, and then a well springs up at the foot of Ishmael. This is in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
And then it says that the place where that well sprang up is called the wilderness of Paran.
Okay.
Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
But see, the well that sprung up that it talks about in the Bible is still there today.
That's right.
It's called the well of Zamzam.
Right.
And it's right there in Mecca today.
Go ahead.
So
Go
it's
ahead.
the well that the Bible talks about, all praises due to Allah. It's located in Quran. And that well is the same as the well of Zamzam, which is right there in Mecca today.
Okay.
You can go on the internet, type in well of Zamzam,
Right.
and a picture will come up of the well right there in the Kaaba. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, then that means that Paran and Mecca is the same place.
That's right.
And Master Farad Muhammad was born where?
In Mecca.
In Mecca. And the Bible says that a Holy One is coming from where?
Mount
From
Paran.
Mount Paran. Is everybody following?
Yes, sir.
That's the Bible.
Come on,
right?
man.
It says that God will come to judge the nation in Genesis. Then it says that the Holy One will come from Mount Paran in Habakkuk, right?
That's right.
Now, that's in, and I want y'all to know the chapter, that's in the 21st, the story of Hagar. That's in the 21st chapter of Genesis, verses 17 through 21, pardon me. That's the 21st chapter of Genesis, verses 17 through 21. Read it for yourself.
That's right.
Y'all ready to move on? Now, is there any other prophecies in the Bible about Master Farad Muhammad? In the 63rd chapter of Isaiah, it says, who is this man, no, pardon me, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah?
Right.
That
Good teaching.
this that is glorious in his apparel, reveling, in the greatness of his own strength. Y'all got that?
Yes,
So
sir.
now it gives us 2 more places that this person is coming from.
Right.
Edom, which is in the Middle East, you call it Jordan today, right?
sir. Okay.
But see, it's called Jordan today, but at that time it was all Arabia. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
In the time of the Bible, it wasn't Jordan. There was no country named Jordan. There was the river Jordan, but there was no country named Jordan. Now, in Bozrah, and it talks about the man having dyed garments on, right?
Right.
And see, in Arabia, they don't wear clothes like blue and red,
Right.
yellow. They don't wear clothes like that.
That's right.
They wear white, what we would call, how do they call them? I want to give you the correct name. But they wear white robes. That's a
Jalabia.
Jalabia, thank you. So now, if you go to Mecca, you can't go with your dyed garments on.
Right.
Right? You can't go with this. So it may look nice, but you can't roll in Mecca like that. You have to take that off. Right?
Yes, sir.
And then you have to put on the seamless white robe. Are y'all following me?
Yes, sir.
So now, see, this man that's coming to save us is leaving from Mecca, as the Honorable Louis Farrakhan talked about on Sunday, and he's coming to a place where the dress is a dyed garment, which we have. But see, some people will criticize a man like that.
Go straight up.
But if a man comes up to you in a robe, then you're going to look like, what's wrong with him? Because we don't dress like that in America, right? So he put on the clothes of the enemy so that he could deliver us. So y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And the Bible says that he would do that.
That's right.
That's heavy.
Thank God for the Bible. And the proper understanding from the most honorable Elijah.
That's right.
That's right. All praises. Now, in the 34th chapter of the book of Ezekiel, the 11th verse, it says that, for thus saith the Lord, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out. As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that is, in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all the places where they have been scattered in the dark and cloudy day. Now, in the book of Ezekiel, there's a prophecy about a man, well, not about a man, about God who is a man, going to search for his sheep that's lost.
Right.
Now,
Watch out.
some of us have the last name Jackson, right?
Right.
Johnson, Jones,
Right.
O'Reilly, O'Malley, Washington, right? And we know those are not our names.
That's right.
But that proves what? That we're lost. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Every time there's a trend, like when Tupac was here, the bandanas were in style. Is that right?
Yes,
And all the Koreans bought a whole bunch of bandanas and sold them to us, right?
Yes, sir.
Back in the days of Flavor Flav, the clock with the the cat in the hat, you know, the big old hat, that was in style, right?
Right.
And you saw these black people rolling around with clocks on. I was one, and big cat in the hat hats, right?
Come on, get your
So
car.
I mean, what am I showing you? That we're lost. Whenever trend comes up, now the trend is a platinum chain with a white Jesus on the end, right?
Right.
And we making the platinum dealer rich, making Jacob the jeweler rich, right? And we're poor. And now we got grills in our mouth. We got songs, right?
Right.
About the grill. Is that right?
Right.
So I mean, what's my point? That shows that we're lost. We are the most lost people on the planet Earth. And God says that He's going to come to seek out His sheep that are lost. So y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
What else does the Bible say? The Bible, Jesus says about the coming of the Son of Man in the book of Matthew, which is another prophecy of Master Farad Muhammad. For as lightning cometh out of the east, even into the west, so shall so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Where did Master Farad Muhammad come from? He came from the east, is that right?
That's right.
And he came where?
To the west.
To the west. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, the Wild Wild West, that's it's called. In the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 2 through 4. I'm just going to read, you can read the whole thing to get the context. But it says that God came in sinful flesh to condemn sin in the flesh. What does that mean? See, some people will tell you, well, that means, see, the flesh of man is sinful.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And it causes you to want to sin. Right?
Right, sir.
Because everybody from Adam is a sinner.
Okay.
But they never told you who Adam was.
Right.
Right?
Come on.
See, in the nation we teach that the white man is the devil. That's just what we teach.
That's what we
I've
teach.
heard that.
And his actions prove that.
That's right.
But see, that teaching is not different than the teaching of Christianity.
Call the
Which
cops.
part of Christian theology says that all those who are from Adam are sinful by nature.
That's right.
That's Christian theology.
Come on.
So you have to ask the question, who was Adam? You
Uh-oh.
have the pre-Adamites that came before Adam.
Right.
That's right.
And then you have the people that came after Adam, called the Adamites. The pre-Adamites are us.
Right.
The people who've been here for millions of years, trillions of years.
Right.
And the Adamites are the people that came from Adam, or white people.
Right.
So we're not saying anything different than the religion of Christianity,
No, sir.
which is one of their cardinal points. Is that right?
That's right.
So now, but this man who's coming to save us he's going to come in sinful flesh to condemn sin in the flesh. Meaning he's going to come looking like a white person to condemn the whites who have done evil to us. So y'all following what I'm saying?
Lay it out.
So now that's the Bible giving you a prophecy of Master Farad Muhammad. Now we know that Master Farad Muhammad had a black father and a white mother.
Right.
And the reason is so that he could come among us. Because at that time in the 1930s, if a black person came and said, look, especially a dark black person, you know, I came to teach you about your own people. I came to teach you the knowledge of self, right? We're not listening to anything a black person has to say.
Not at all.
Now, see, a person like T.D. Jakes, he should be thankful for the teachings of the Most Honorable Muhammad.
Right.
Because there was a time where black people would not accept a dark black preacher.
Right.
You had to be high yellow.
Man.
You had to be teased and tan.
Watch out.
But this is a dark black man with black features.
Right.
And he's loved by black people.
Right.
I'm talking about T.D. Jakes.
Yes, sir.
But he's a beneficiary of the work and teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Go ahead.
To where now black people accept the black preacher.
Lay it out.
Now, so brothers and sisters, this man had to come looking like them so he could go among them and so he could go among us.
Right.
Because we have a hard time listening to black people in 2005. Come on, imagine what 1930 was like. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, what does the Holy Quran say about Master Farad Muhammad? Are y'all ready?
Go ahead.
First thing we're going to read is the 53rd chapter of the Holy Quran. Where we at? Okay. Verses 1 through 6. 53rd chapter of the Holy Quran is entitled The Star, if I remember correctly. Could it possibly be talking about Master Farad Muhammad? Here we are, the star. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the star when it sets, your companion errs not, nor does he deviate, nor does he speak out of desire. It is not but revelation that is revealed. One mighty in power has taught him, the Lord of strength, so he attained perfection.
Watch out.
Now we know that the Muhammad of 1400 years ago was not taught by God. Right or wrong?
That's right.
Now we know that he was revealed words from the angel Gabriel,
That's right.
but it was not from God himself.
That's right.
Let's read the footnote of Maulana Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir.
He says, in the footnote, where is it at? 5A. It is not correct to take the one mighty in power as meaning Gabriel. Did y'all hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
That's Maulana Muhammad Ali.
Watch out.
Now, in the 55th chapter of the Holy Quran, real quick. 1 through 4. It says, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. The Beneficent taught the Quran. He created man and taught him expression. So who is this Beneficent that taught Muhammad the Quran? It can't be Gabriel, right?
Okay.
Or it wouldn't use the definite article, the Beneficent. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It has to be God himself who taught Muhammad. Now, the clearest prophecy is in chapter 32.
Okay.
Chapter 32 of the Holy Quran entitled The Adoration. And there's a prophecy, and I'm going to read it very quickly. And it says, we're going to start in verse 4 and end in verse 5. Allah is he who created the heavens and the earth, and what is between them in 6 periods. He is established on the throne of power. You have not besides him a guardian or an intercessor. Will you not then mind? Then there's a prophecy in verse 5 that says, he orders the affair from the heaven to the earth, then it will ascend to him in a day, the measure of which is 1,000 years, as you count. Now what does that mean? Maulana Muhammad Ali, this is what he says. He says that Prophet Muhammad died in 632 AD, right?
Go ahead.
Which is just a fact. And he says that this prophecy refers to that 3 generations after the Prophet, the Islamic world would no longer be of the Prophet, right?
Okay.
Which are the words of the Prophet himself.
That's right.
3 generations after me, you will no longer be of me. Is that right?
Go ahead.
Then there's a prophecy in the Holy Quran that says, after after 1,000 years from that date, God would come and bring Islam back to its purity. So we have to do some calculation. Prophet Muhammad died in 632.
Okay, that's right.
Now, the Maulana Muhammad Ali says the 3 generations represent 300 years.
Okay.
So from 632, 300 years would bring you to what? 932.
Come on.
Then the book says in 1,000 years, God is going to come.
That's right.
And God is going to put Islam back in its pure state.
Good teaching.
So from 932, 1,000 years is what year? 1932. And who came to black people in Detroit? Who was that? That was Master Farad Muhammad.
Go ahead.
To bring Islam where? Back to its pure state. Is that right?
That's right.
All praises due to Allah.
Go ahead,
How
bring
do you
them out.
know? Because if you look at, we have Muslims in this country that sell pig feet.
Oh,
Right?
Come on.
But a Muslim in the Nation of Islam will not sell pig feet.
That's right.
No matter how much money they can get from it. Is that right?
That's right.
You have Muslims in this country that sell alcohol.
Yes, that's right.
Right?
Right.
But a member of the Nation of Islam will not sell our people alcohol no matter how much money we can make from it. Is that
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Because Allah has made us the new Muslims, right?
Go ahead.
You don't see us strapping bombs to our bodies and blowing people up.
No, sir. No,
Is that right? That's crazy. Who would do that? I mean, people would do that. We're not going to do that.
no,
Is that
sir.
right?
No, sir.
Because we've been taught by God. Now, let me see. Do I have all of the prophecies?
Trying to get them here.
Okay. Now, are y'all ready to move on? We know that Master Farad Muhammad studied 42 years.
Okay.
Now, you may say, well, if he had to study, then how can he be God? Right? See, brothers and sisters, what we have to realize is that if we have a seed, right? In the seed, right, that you plant is everything that is necessary to become a whole tree.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So in the seed is the tree.
Right.
But you have to put the seed in the right environment,
Okay.
right?
That's
It
right.
has to have soil, it has to have sunlight, and it has to have water.
That's right.
And if the seed is in the right environment, then it's going to grow into what it potentially was as a seed. Are y'all following me?
Yes, sir.
See, and this is why the enemy works so hard to keep us in the wrong environment. Because he understands science. When you were in school, you did the experiment. You had a little bean plant, right?
Right.
You put one in a cup with a little paper in there,
Right,
and you put that one in the light, right?
Right.
Then you took another one and you put it in the dark closet, right?
Right.
And you gave it water, but it didn't have light.
Right.
And they both grew, is that right?
Uh-huh.
The one in the light grew and it became green and it grew tall, right?
Right.
Now the one in the dark still grew,
Right.
not as tall as the one with the
Right,
light,
right.
And it had no color.
Right. It was
Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, sir.
And see, the white man knows that he can put you in the wrong environment and you'll never grow into what you're supposed to be.
Good teaching.
See, the potential of all of us is to reflect God.
Right.
But we've been placed in an environment that is against the will of God.
Right.
So even though we love God, our nature is God, we do the opposite of what our nature is.
Yes, sir.
Because of the environment that we've been placed in. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. All praises due to Allah. Now, so Master Farad Muhammad was born in 1877.
Okay.
Meaning he didn't create the sun, the moon, and all of that was here before him.
Go ahead.
But see, he has the wisdom and the knowledge of the originator. You call God the supreme being.
Right.
Well, have you ever looked up the word being in the dictionary?
Come on.
Being is that which exists, that which is real. See, he's supreme over all of the other beings, which is us. Right?
Yes, sir.
Whoever has supreme knowledge, supreme wisdom, supreme understanding, then that person you would say is God. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All praise is due to Allah. Now, we got to move quick. The enemy says that Master Farad Muhammad, he's not God in person. He's a man called Wallace Died Ford,
Right. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that hurts.
who went to prison for selling drugs in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, sir.
And he was married to Hazel Ford,
Yes, sir.
and had a child named Wallace Ford. Is that right?
Okay, sir.
And some of us are so gullible, we believe the white man in his lies, right? Now, but see, you can go on the FBI. The FBI has the FBI file on Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And they research, and they come to the conclusion in their own file
Yep. Yep.
that they could not either prove or disprove
Right.
that that Wallace died Ford and Master Farad Muhammad are the same person. They say the FBI filed that Master Farad Muhammad, his parents were from Hawaii. And they opened up what they called the Ford Bottling Company. So the FBI, spending the taxpayers' money, flew some agents out to Hawaii.
Right.
And there was no such thing as a Ford Bottling Company.
Oh, yeah.
Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
They say, I'm talking about the government, the FBI, they say that Master Farad Muhammad, or Wallace died Ford,
Right.
was released from prison in 1929.
Okay.
Now we know he made his appearance among us in 1930.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and it was May of 1929. He came among us July of 1930.
Right.
So that gives him 1 year, right, to develop the teachings that we teach right now.
Yes, sir.
That every day the world is bearing witness to the truth of what we teach. And they're saying that a man who got out of prison in 1 year developed what we teach. Meaning when we say that the earth is 196,940,000 square miles, that this man originated that.
Right.
When at that time, the scientists and the scholars had no knowledge of that.
That's right.
They had no knowledge of how far the planets were from the earth. All you have to do is go get an old encyclopedia.
Yes, sir.
Read it for yourself. They had no knowledge of how to get a spaceship to the moon. Because they didn't know how far the moon was from the earth.
Come on.
Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See, the white man says, or he used to say, that when there was a Big Bang theory,
Right.
and that's how the moon got there, that when the universe banged,
Started itself. Right.
the moon just was there.
Right.
But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that there was an explosion that caused the moon to be separate from the earth.
That's right.
And see, I know black people say, oh, that nigga crazy. What you talking about? Excuse me.
That's right.
The minister asked us not to use that
You
word.
ought to change.
That Negro is crazy. I said, what is he talking about? But see, when the scientists went to the moon, now there's 3 theories on how the moon got there.
Watch out.
There's the Big Bang theory.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Then there's another theory where they say as the universe was rotating, right, the earth was building itself up, right, a piece broke off and that became the moon. And then the third theory is that another object struck the earth, caused an explosion, and then the moon shot out there. Now, that theory, 70% of all scientists accept that theory. But the thing that made them change their mind is when they went to the moon. And they noticed that the dust on the moon smelled like gunpowder.
Right, sir.
So now how could this man, who is a sharecropper from Georgia, know before the white man, with all his technology and technology, that the moon was, how could he know that?
Yes, sir.
How could he know before the enemy that the black man was the original man and woman? How could he know that?
Good question.
And now they're bearing witness to that.
Yes, sir.
Now they're saying on the Discovery Channel, The Real Eve, which came out in 2003, that all human beings came from black people.
That's
But
right.
this man taught it in 1930.
Right.
So we can't accept that Wallace Dart Ford is Master Farad Muhammad.
Not at all. Don't believe the hype.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad knew Master Farad Muhammad. So when the San Francisco or the Los Angeles Herald Examiner published the article, he challenged them.
Yes, sir.
And he said, look, if you can prove that this man, hold on, let me read the word for word.
Come on, brother. Break it out.
Read what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. I, Elijah Muhammad, messenger of Allah, told the Los Angeles Herald Examiner on Monday, July 29, 1963, that my followers and I will pay the Los Angeles Herald Examiner newspaper $100,000 to prove the headline charge, Black Muslim founder exposed as white, made against us, that we are following one Wallace died with many aliases, including the name Farad. That he is the man that I am representing to my people as being Master Farad Muhammad, a live person who appeared among us in Detroit, Michigan in 1931 and is the same person as Wallace died. Now, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in that same article asked the question, well, he said that we will fly this man to America
Yes, sir.
from New Zealand.
Right.
We will pay for that. And then let me ask him just a few questions to see if this man that you say Wallace died for is Master Farad Muhammad. Because Master Farad Muhammad can speak 16 languages.
Right.
Can this man, Wallace died for, speak 16 languages?
Come on.
This man, Master Farad Muhammad, has one of the most beautiful penmanships of Arabic in the Arab world. Can this man, Wallace died for, even write Arabic?
Come on.
Then he asked questions that only he knew the answer to. Where were we at when he taught me such and such and so and so? Where were we at when this happened right here? So, but the Los Angeles Herald Examiner and the government never took the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad up on the claim to prove that this man was Master Farad Muhammad. In fact, they punked out.
Yes, sir.
Which, when you have truth, anybody's going to punk out.
Yes,
Let me
sir.
read this real quick from the book. This is the one, page 61. Brother Jabril is the one who went to the Los Angeles Herald Examiner office with the $100,000 check. Right, listen. He says, 3 of us, I was one, took a copy of Muhammad Speaks a few days after Montgomery's article appeared with the $100,000 offer to this devil and his paper, the San Francisco Herald Examiner. When we walked into his office, he turned on the tape recorder. He looked and acted nervous. He was given the paper and given the offer in plain words. The devil has never tried to prove what he knows was and is a lie. That's from Brother Jabril, who took the check to the man. And the man punked out. Okay, now let's move on. Now, some of you will say, hold on, oh, I seen the picture. I seen the picture of Wallace died for it. I seen the picture. Right? And they say, well, yeah, he looked just like Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Or he looked a little bit like him to me. Now, I have a picture of Master Farad Muhammad. This is the man they say is Master Farad Muhammad. Right? Wallace died for it. See, we're not afraid to bring this kind of stuff out. Because they're going to shame us. This is a lie. Now, and this is the picture of Master Farad Muhammad. Hold on. That's 2 different people. Let's see that. Now, I know you're black, I know. And I came prepared for black people. You're going to say, well, they look kind of alike. Right, I know you're going to say that. So what I did some celebrity lookalikes. Here we have 2 celebrities. One is a basketball player, one is a rapper.
Right.
One's name is Ja Rule. The other one's name is Joe Johnson.
Okay.
Now they look kind of alike, don't they?
Right.
Now you saw Joe Johnson at the mall. You think, man, that's Ja Rule. You may roll up on him for his autograph. He's a basketball player. Y'all with me?
Yes,
now, hold on. Here we have another celebrity lookalike.
Right.
We got Manny Fresh on one side, you know, from the Cash Money clip. And we got Travis Watson on the other side, basketball player.
Okay.
So now, but there's a similarity between these 2, is that right?
Yes, sir.
But we know they're not one and the same just because they may look a little alike.
Right.
That's for all of you saying, well, they kind of do look like him. Now, there's other people on the planet Earth with the name Wallace Ford.
Okay.
I know you don't believe that, so I went and got a picture
Yes, sir.
of a man whose name is Wallace. I don't know who he is, but his name is Wallace Ford. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
His name is General Wallace Ford. Does that make him Master Farad Muhammad? Because his name is Wallace Ford? That doesn't make him Master Farad Muhammad.
No, I don't think so.
That just makes him Wallace Ford. General White Man, is that right?
That's right.
Now, why would the FBI go to this extent? Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you why.
Bring it on.
Because they fear the rise of the Nation of Islam.
That's right.
And I know you think, well, we're just a bunch of black people.
Come on.
But this is November 4th, 2005.
Okay.
J. Edgar Hoover's personal files.
Right.
Meaning not the FBI files.
His personal.
Because J. Edgar Hoover had the FBI files, and then he had, if you read about his life, his personal files that he kept in his office.
Okay.
Right?
That's
and
right.
when he died, his secretary, her name was Miss Gandy. She took his personal files. Right? Now, but the government just released J. Edgar Hoover's personal files. Are y'all with me?
Okay.
And guess who J. Edgar Hoover is talking about in his personal files?
Tell it.
He's talking about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Come on.
Now, you don't mind if I read from the newspaper?
Come on with it.
From the personal files of J. Edgar Hoover. Now, let's go. It says, Mr. Wesley Swernigan was one of J. Edgar Hoover's top agents in Chicago and Los Angeles. Entrusted to perform one of Hoover's favorite tricks, illegal break-ins, known as black bag jobs. Y'all got that? The illegal break-in is called a black bag job in the FBI. Now, he says, well, the article says, and there were hundreds of black bag jobs in the 1950s and 60s, many targeting suspected communists in Chicago. He says the FBI agent, Mr. Swernigan, I think that's how you pronounce his name. We eventually had a squad of 24 agents in Chicago doing nothing but black bag jobs, says Swornigan. We were ordered to do the same thing on the Nation of Islam, which was founded by Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
Then the article says from 1957 through 1966, FBI agents illegally bugged the headquarters of the Nation of Islam on South Woodlawn in Chicago.
Watch out.
Listen carefully.
Go ahead.
Hoover's personal files.
Right.
I can't stress that hard enough.
Yes,
They
sir.
were recently released to the public for the first time and are held at the National Archive outside of Washington, right?
Okay.
Then he says, this is a professor from Marquette University. They were clearly interested in the influence of the Nation of Islam in the black community, right?
Okay.
This is the clincher. Hoover illegally eavesdropped on Elijah Muhammad for 9 years. In his personal files, Hoover wrote, listen to what Hoover wrote, in his personal files. I wish I had a flashing light that said personal. I don't know why.
Go ahead.
The Muslim Code of Islam is fanatical and violent, intending to distribute arms and ammunition throughout the United States in preparation for the War of Armageddon, intent to destroy non-Muslims and Christianity. Then the FBI agent says, he thought that Elijah Muhammad was developing into a rising Messiah. This is November 4th, 2005. He thought that Elijah Muhammad was developing into a rising Messiah, and he could not stand the thought of that, Swornigan said. Now, I'm just going to go out on the edge, and I'm going to say that he wasn't a rising Messiah.
Yes, sir.
See, J. Edgar Hoover was a wise man.
That's right.
He was a Shriner.
That's right.
He read the Holy Quran.
Yes,
And
he
he
did.
knew that the Messiah would be raised up among black people, and he knew that that man was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
This is J. Edgar Hoover.
Good Lord.
Now, let's go back to Master Farad Muhammad. Now, the question that we want to ask, how do we know that Master Farad Muhammad is God in person?
Watch out.
How do we know? And the way that we know is because of the effect that what he taught had on the lives of black people and have on the lives of black people today.
Come on.
Now, let's look at it. In the American Journal of Psychology, the first article ever written about the Nation of Islam was in the American Journal of Psychology, written by a man named E.D. Benyon in 1939, who claims he was right there and met Master Farad Muhammad. The name of the article is Voodoo Code of Islam and somebody's effect on migrants in Detroit, right? Southern migrants in Detroit. I'm not going to give you all the ins and outs of the article, but the conclusion of the article, this is what the man says. That everyone who followed Master Farad Muhammad, that they were better off after following him. Meaning they lived in filthy houses, they cleaned their houses up. They had no jobs, but they got jobs. They used to drink alcohol, but they got rid of the alcohol. They used to be womanizers, but they were not womanizers anymore. So now, and that was in 1939. But it's 2005, and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad from Master Farad Muhammad have the same what?
Effect.
The same effect on black people. I want you to think about it.
Go ahead, lay it out.
What can make a black man throw a ham sandwich down? I mean, most of us been eating pork all our life.
That's right.
I remember when I stopped eating pork. I remember. And my mother just made some pork chops.
Yes, sir.
The day that I said I ain't eating no more pork.
Yes,
The
sir.
very day I said it. You know, you're always going to get tried when you
That's right. Right away.
So now, I'm in the kitchen. And there's a plate of pork chops just stacked on top of each other. And I'm just looking at the pork chops like,
That's that.
I mean, because I'm just remembering on how good they used to be. Is that right?
That's right.
At that time.
Yes, sir.
So now, but what made me, even though it was looking good at that time,
Come on.
what made me not eat it? The teachings of Master Farad Muhammad. Is that right?
Go ahead.
right.
Now, I went to a black college campus. And black women have always been beautiful. Right, and they still are, right? And I can just remember all of these beautiful sisters on this campus. Now, what caused me to hold myself and not try to be with one of these sisters? It had to be what Master Farad Muhammad taught, right?
That's right.
Because the white Jesus, we
Okay.
White Jesus, we got 5 or 6 girlfriends with the white Jesus. That wasn't doing nothing for us. Is that right?
That's right.
We got 2 crosses on. You know what I'm saying? Big Jesus on the end of one, the cross on another one. Got 2 women on our arms. I'm a pimp, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Pimp.
right.
See, Jesus let me pimp these. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Come
pimp.
on,
you
come
know?
on.
Jesus helped my pimp game, right?
Yes, sir.
I saw a video of the bishop, Don Juan.
Oh, not the
And this
bishop.
man is talking about God helping him to be a pimp.
Lord
Come
have
on, that's crazy. Now, let's wrap it up with this. We got to wrap it up. Now, there's a prophecy in the Bible about a man called the Good Samaritan, right?
That's right.
And it says that, I'm going to read it to you, that a certain man came from Jerusalem to Jericho, right?
That's right.
And he fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed him, leaving him half dead, right?
That's right.
Now, this man was coming from Jerusalem, which means founded in peace,
Okay.
to a city of Jericho, which was a city like Chicago, we can say, right? It wasn't a peaceful city, right? How do you know? Because he wasn't even there yet. And what happened? He got robbed on the way to Jericho.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't even in Jericho yet. So now, and then, see, in Jerusalem, you know, people don't lie in Jerusalem because it's founded in peace. People don't steal. Y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But in Jericho, what happens? They get everything on a 5-finger discount. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
They lie as long as they don't get caught, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, we live in Jericho,
Man.
right? How did we get here? The enemy stole us. Is that right?
That's right.
How did they get Mexico and Arizona and Texas? Did they steal that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
How did they take the land of the Native Americans? Did the Native Americans give it to them?
No, sir.
Or did they steal it?
They stole
What
it.
happened to your name and your language,
Stole
your
that.
culture, your way of life?
Come on.
That was stolen from you. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
So we know that we fell among thieves. There's no question.
That's right.
Did we fall among thieves?
Right.
Now, it goes on to say, and by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and he saw him and he passed by on the other side. Now, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan teaches us that the priest represents the church.
Okay.
And the church saw the condition of black people, and they did nothing, right?
Right.
In fact,
right.
the church helped sell us into slavery.
That's right.
That's
The
right.
Pope is the one that sanctioned slavery because he said black people have no soul.
That's right.
Now, let's move on. It says, and likewise the Levite, when he was at the place and came and looked at him, he passed by on the other side. So the Levite looked at him. The Levite represents the Jewish people. And the Jewish people looked at the condition of black people, and they said, man, can't nobody reform them Negroes. Moses can't do nothing with them. Are y'all with me?
Yes,
Go ahead.
sir.
So now, the Jewish people are the one that came up with the myth that black people were the cursed children of Ham.
That's
That
right.
we were cursed black.
Right, right.
A
That's
Jewish rabbi came up with that.
That's right.
The Christians are the one that sold us into slavery.
Okay.
Come on.
Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, then it says, but a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. And he saw him, and he had compassion on him. And he went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring oil and wine, and set him on his own beast and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave it to the host and said to him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee.
Watch out.
Now, see, the man is called the Good Samaritan because the other Samaritans weren't good.
That's right.
Y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See, the other Samaritans would open up shop in the black community and sell black people pig feet,
Right.
and then put the pig feet under the counter and go to Juma prayer.
Come on.
Then come back from Juma prayer, put the pig feet back on top of the counter and sell it to black people. See, the other Samaritans would have liquor stores in the black community
Right.
Right.
and would sell black people liquor, sell black people bootleg DVDs, right? Sell them weed if they wanted some. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Whatever they needed to make money, the other Samaritans were with that. But the Good Samaritan was not like the rest. Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The Good Samaritan is the one that healed the condition
Right.
that the man was in. So how do we know Master Farad Muhammad is God? Because Master Farad Muhammad is the one that healed the condition of black inferiority
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
among black people. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
See, we're proud to be black now because of the work and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad
Right. Yes, sir.
that he got from Master Farad Muhammad.
Right.
There was a time if you told a black person, what's up, black man, you would be beat down.
Fight. Yep.
They would fight you. Now we got, I'm proud to be black.
Right.
I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. Is that right?
Right, sir.
And the only reason we have that is because of Master Farad Muhammad. Now, brothers and sisters, I have two things before we leave. See, the reason that the book talks about Jericho as the city where the man was going to that had been robbed, which represents black people. We're totally robbed. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you read in the Old Testament, Jericho is the city that was conquered by Joshua. See, and Joshua is a sign of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Right.
Joshua means Savior, Deliverer, Redeemer. Y'all with me?
Go ahead.
It is the English version of the name Yahshua. Yahshua, which is another name for Jesus. Y'all follow what I'm saying?
That's right.
Jesus and Joshua, the name is one and the same.
That's right.
Are y'all following me?
Go ahead.
So now this man Joshua is not afraid to challenge the giants. And when he challenges the giants, then he sets up a place for the children of Israel. And the first city he established, or the first place, was Jericho. Then you have to ask the question, are we in Jericho? Have we been robbed?
Yes, sir.
We have been robbed. Is that right?
Right.
See, in Jericho, in Jerusalem, the women covered themselves. Is that right?
Right.
In Jericho, they say shake that Laffy Taffy.
That's right.
Oh,
Right.
that hurts.
That's right.
In Jerusalem, there was no sex before marriage, right? In Jericho, they say get your freak on.
All day.
Hit it and quit it. Is that right?
That's right.
That's what they say in Jericho.
Yes, sir.
In Jerusalem, to be a virtuous woman is an honor. In Jericho, they make fun of you if you're a 40-year-old virgin.
Right.
Right.
Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yeah.
the Bible, what does the Bible say about a virtuous woman? It says the virtuous woman is more valuable than diamonds and gold. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
That
Yes,
there
sir.
is no price that you can place on a virtuous woman. See, that's how they teach in Jerusalem. In Jericho, they be like, what? You ain't got none yet? What's wrong with you? You better go get old Ray Ray house or something, right? They make fun of you if you're a virtuous woman. Now, but brothers and sisters, my final point, if we can have the brothers bring the table out. Because I want to show, let me make sure I covered everything. We want to prove that God is a man. I know it may be a difficult concept to rationalize. The concept, you can put it right there, yes sir. The concept of God being a man, it may be, because when I first came to the nation, it's not something that I understood right away. It's something that may require a little explanation.
That's right.
Hopefully we've done a good job. Can you all bring those materials right there on the table? The cups, the water. Just the cups and the water is all I need. It may be a difficult concept to understand. So I'm going to try to help you to understand the concept. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
See now, the Spirit of God does not change.
No,
Y'all
sir.
got it?
Yes, sir.
The only thing that changes is the vessel that the Spirit is in. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
See, the Spirit of God is in you right now.
That's right.
Right?
Okay.
Come on.
And you're not going to live forever.
Right.
No,
But
sir.
the Spirit of God will. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Will always be here, even though you will not be here. And that Spirit is in you. So I'm not going to put all the notes here. So now, see, when we talk about God, it's kind of like when you talk about the president. Y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't want you to think I'm comparing Bush to God. No. I'm just giving you an example. See, the president is a position.
That's right.
And a lot of people have sat in that seat of president, right?
That's right.
So the power of the president remains the same.
That's right.
But the person who is in the seat of president changes every 4 to 8 years.
That's right.
Are y'all following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Come on with
So
me.
now, if you can understand that, then you can understand the concept of God being a man.
Yes, sir.
See, Master Farad Muhammad is not going to live forever.
That's right.
And there have been men that lived before him, so he wasn't the originator of everything you see.
Come on.
See, Master Farad Muhammad prays, but why does he pray? Because his body, he didn't invent that. He lives in a universe that he didn't originate. He eats food that he didn't necessarily originate. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes,
He
sir.
breathes oxygen that he didn't make. So he prays in honor of the man who originated all that we see.
Come on.
Y'all follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So now, let me do this. Can you get, it's a pack of Kool-Aid right on the inside. If somebody can get that for me. I want to just show you this concept, if y'all can bear with me real quick.
Yes,
It's inside
sir.
the-
Take your time, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Now, we're taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that the nature of man is not perfect.
Right.
Is that what we're taught?
Right.
But that it's on a road to perfection.
Okay.
Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, I have a little dye in this water
Right.
to represent the imperfect nature of man. Y'all see that?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now the water represents the Spirit of God, right?
Okay.
Now, so now the Spirit of God does not stay in one vessel. Y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? When that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is passed on to the next vessel. Just like when you have a new president, right? The powers of president, there's a ceremony.
That's
And
right.
one president does what? Passes on the power of the presidency to the next person. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now, if you can understand that, then you can understand this simple concept. So now, the Spirit of God goes from one vessel.
Right.
Now, you don't need the cup,
Go
right?
ahead.
You don't need this, right?
Right.
You need what's in the cup, right?
That's right.
Which in this case is the Spirit of God. So it goes from one vessel to the next vessel over thousands of years. Are y'all following me?
Right.
Yes, sir.
The knowledge and wisdom and understanding is passed on from one to the next. The person that has supreme knowledge, supreme wisdom,
Come on.
supreme understanding sits in the seat,
Right.
right?
That's
And
right.
exercises the power.
Come on.
But all of us with that spirit, which all of us have, guess what? We have the same power.
That's right.
There just has to be one supreme for organizational purposes. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Just like
Good
there has to be a
teaching,
head of the house
Right.
for organizational
Right.
purposes.
Yes, sir.
Everybody has their function.
Right.
See, because the man is the head don't make the man better.
Right.
Come on.
Someone has to be
You
the
better say
head.
that.
The
Right.
Bible says that man is the head of woman like God is the head of man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And that's just supreme organization. Now let's move on. So now the spirit continues. Y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
So now we're taught that there's a man named Yaqub, right?
Okay.
That's
You
right.
see this little tinge in here, right?
Right.
Right.
Which represents the imperfect nature of man.
That's right.
See, Yaqub brought it all out,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? The little bit that was there, he brought it all out, right? Manifested it. Y'all with me?
Yes,
So
sir.
now this is going to represent him. Y'all see that?
Ooh.
See that got dark?
You brought it all out.
Now, he brought it all out. So now, see, even though we were never perfect, y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
We were not perfect, but we were not evil either.
Right.
You understand?
Yes,
See,
sir.
there were things that we did that were wrong. White people did not originate evil
Come
and
on.
wrongdoing.
Break it
They
down.
just made evil and wrongdoing the order of the day on the planet Earth.
Right.
See, in the time where we ruled the planet Earth, when people did things wrong, they were dealt with.
That's right.
And there was not a lot of evil on the world. You understand? In the world.
Yes, sir.
But there was a little bit, right?
Yes, sir.
And those people were dealt with. Man looked at another man's wife and molested a baby, he would be killed. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, I mean, but it wasn't a lot of evil.
Right.
See, but what whites have done, they have made evil fair seen.
That's right.
So they brought out what was the weakness in us and manifested now in front of the world. Right?
Good
So
teaching.
now, but when Master Farad Muhammad comes,
Right.
what does he do? He clears it all up. Is that right?
Come on.
Over time. Now this one, don't call me a hypocrite. This one represents Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
So now, but this is Yaqub in the world that he made. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
So now Master Farad Muhammad comes, and what does he do? He cleared. Now just give it a minute.
Right.
Calm down. Everything's going to be all right. Right? But what this shows is that the cleansing that we have to go through is a process.
That's right.
It's not something that's going to happen in a day or two. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See, he has the power to make it happen in a day. But for our sake, what does he do? He causes it to happen over time. The whole purpose of this experiment is to show what? Is to show the concept of one generation to the next, the manifestation of evil, right, which is the world we live in, and then the coming of Master Farad Muhammad, who comes to clear everything up. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah.
Been around.
All praises due to Allah.